Studying frequency in data analysis, we are going to use Countifs, and frequency functions, these three functions, and we may need to use unique and sort function as well. Imagine there is a database, X company. Here we have 9 variables: name, town, address, gender, age, number of children, premium, number of languages spoken, and position. And there are 80 employees here. We want to find the frequency first with Countif function. This is solved exercises. I will show with the existing formulas first, and then we will start to create the same tables from scratch. It means that for gender, we should find this male and female by ourselves and then count them. Or number of children, we are not going to go through the column for number of children and find out how many different values are there. We need the unique function and sort function to be able to write the possible values in this column. Now imagine this male and female are given, or we already found it. Now we want to use the Countif function to find the number of males in this column. So if I double click, you can see the formula. Countif function with 2 arguments. We can see here the blue part, which is the array. In that array, we are looking for this L5, and L5 is L5, this red selected cell. If I press escape and come out of this formula, you can see that L5 is here. So we are counting male in this blue part, and you can see that the blue selected part is the gender column, all the values in this column from row 1 to row 81, which is the last row, or we have 80 rows or 80 records here. Now among that 80, we have 52 males. If I have a formula here, I can copy the formula for the other rows and get the same output. Why we use this total? Usually we use total to make sure that we are counting or we are considering all the existing data in our database. For example, if I click on this cell, let me delete that 52. Here we have a formula. It says that there is a range from D2 to D81, and we are counting the value which is inside L6. So we can see difference between the red and blue one. For the red one, there is no $sign. It means that if I move this formula or copy this formula up to this cell, and this, instead of this L6, it will change to L5 to this row. But for the other part, we don't want to change the range. The range is fixed. Because of that, we have these $signs. Now let's copy this cell. So you can go to right bottom corner. If we see this plus sign, we can click and drag. This way we can copy the formula. Or we can just push Ctrl C and here paste as F or formula with the same value. Once you are inside the formula, then or some cell is selected, you want to remove this or go for another calculation, just press escape and come out of this selected cell. Now I want to do some change here. For example, if I remove this $sign from this 81, it works for this. But if I want to copy up, then that 81 will change to 80. So here we have 52, the correct value. But now if I copy this formula up, this time we will get something wrong, 51. What's the reason? If we select this, it shows that now it changed to 80. Or if we go to that column, we will see that now the range from top part, we still locked the row number, it didn't change. But from the bottom, it moved up, and now we are counting this cell, which is another male. So this is how the total helps us that we should go and check the range or any other part of the formula, not to find the final value by mistake. So now let's go back. Now I delete this one again and go there and put a $sign here. So you can type $sign directly and press enter. Now copy this and paste there, the same output. Or another way to put these $signs here, if I select this part and press F for all the $sign, let's remove them all. So if we select the range first of all, I can press F4, we will have $signs before the column name and row number. It means that if I copy this formula up, down, right, or left, the column name and the row number will not change, or the range will remain fixed. But you may need to lock only, let's say, we may have this part. We may need to lock only the row number. So if you press F4 twice, only the row number will be fixed. 3 times only the column name. 4 times all $signs will be removed. Now we have this $signs there. Now if I copy this again, we will get the correct answer. That's it. So if we have values instead of this text, then we can use frequency. Now we are finding the frequency of these values among the data. How many zeros are there, how many ones. But once we are writing the frequency is going to give us an array output. It means that one formula gives all the values. We don't need to copy the formula to the other cells. We just write the formula only in the first cell. Now for the frequency, we select a range. And then the second argument is called the bean arrays. So the beans array is going to be this red part. And be careful not to select the last one. So if I see the beans array here, so it means that this 15 is the number of all values in this column or in this field, number of children's, less than or equal to 0. 0 is included. This 24 is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 1. Since they are all integers, so it's going to be exactly the number of ones. This 25 is the elements which are greater than 1 but less than or equal to 2. It's exactly the number of 2's. And here less than or equal to 4 and greater than 3. And finally, this one means all the elements greater than 4. And in this case, it's exactly the number of 5's. It means that if you select this 5 in the beans array, then we are going to have the number of elements which are greater than 5, and it's going to be somewhere here. So in this case, you can see that if I want to find the values, so the sum of these values here, I can write equal sum of these values. Or instead, you can just click here and come to the home menu and here the auto sum. If you just click on auto sum, then you will see the same total number here. Now I want to delete this one and change this formula. So I want to change the beans array instead of stopping at 4. If I continue up to 5 and press enter, then you will see another value here, which is all the elements which are greater than 5. We don't have such a thing, so it is 0. Once you have output as an array, if you change one of them, then you will split the data and then you will miss all those outputs. And usually if you have something like this and you want to find the autosum here, then autosum, then it will split the data. So whenever you see this split, it means that you are changing a part of output, which is an array. So I push Ctrl Z and bring it back. For example, instead of this 4, if I count the number of elements and I find out that, or by any reason, if I want to change this 4, for example, to 5 and press enter, then again all the others will be removed. So we are going to split everything, and it says that this split shows that we have a array output. Now you are changing one of them, you cannot do it, and because of that it's splitted. So again I push Ctrl Z and bring it back to the original position. Now that's it. And the same formula we are going to use here, frequency. And if I want to use frequency here, it's going to be just one formula as the previous one. But if I want to use with Countif, I can write a Countif for the first one, all the entries in this range which are less than or equal to this L53, it means that 100,000. And this one, all with Countif, we have all, we don't need ifs, it's only if. Countif, all which are greater than 400,000. And these three are the same, okay? So if I write only one formula here, which is Countifs with two conditions, all the data in that range which are less than or equal to L54, it means that this cell 200,000 less than or equal to 200,000, and the same range greater than L53, it means that 100,000. Now if we have this formula, I can copy to the others and get the same results. So with Countif, two Countifs and one Countifs. This one needs only one formula. Let me see. This is also doesn't need ifs. However, if you write ifs and you write one condition, nothing happens. But here I have one condition. Here again one. But for this we have two. Since they are different, then I need to write three different. Even if we have, for example, 20 rows here, only first and last are different. And the rest, if you write one formula here and you lock properly, then you can copy for the others. Now we come back to this point and start to prepare all these things from scratch. Now we want to have this gender and number of staff. I copy this and paste it here. Since it's already merged, then I select these 4 cells to have the same form. Paste it here. Now here I want to see how many different genders we have in this column. So in this column, which is here, D2 until D81, I want to list them all, but uniquely. Then I can write equal unique, and we can select the same column from here. So to select the column, we can click and drag down, or we can click only one cell and press and hold Ctrl and Shift, and just once down arrow button, we will go up to the end. And usually we lock the range. If you press F4 to lock the range, then we will come back to the formula directly. So we are here with all dollar signs. If we press enter, we will see only male and female. So in this case, we don't need to sort, but for this part, we are going to also sort it. So male and female are the possible values in this column. Now we want to write the formula to count. So here we write equal count if in the same range. The range is here. Control Shift down arrow button, F4. And what are we looking for? We are looking for this cell. And inside that, we have male. Just I click on it. And we don't lock it because once I want to copy this, I want to this male to move down and to change to female. Now, if we press enter, this is 52. Now I can copy the formula down and get the other value. Once we are done with this, so I make them all centered and with all borders. Now here I want to find the total and show that this is something different from the frequencies that we have. I give another background color for this. So the total, and to find the total, we just click here and auto sum. Home menu and auto sum, enter. That's all. We are done with this. The other one, again, I copy this and paste here. And now we want to see how many different values we have. We can write equal unique and this is number of children. Number of children is this column. Control Shift down, F4 and enter. But we can see that these are not in a ascending order. I want to sort them. So I show two different ways to sort. Once I can copy them. So if I select them and start to use this sort here, A to Z, it will give us error. Okay. Or let's see, just with the current session sort, it gives us an error because it's an array. Okay. It's part of an array. So I can copy this, paste somewhere as values, and then select, then sort. Oh, sorry, I pushed wrong. And we sort A to Z, continue with the selection. Oh, so now I can copy and paste here again. This is one way. But another way, in this formula, before unique, I can write sort. So after finding the unique values, we are going to sort them. Now you can see that the same values but sorted. Okay. Now let's do this one also, all centered, and now here we write one formula which is frequency. Frequency of number of children, which is this column. Control Shift down, F4, and second argument is the beans array. So here we can see that beans array starts from 0 to 4. We shouldn't select 5. If I cannot select this cell because already part of the formula is there because I zoomed in, I can start from bottom to top. Okay, that's all. And we press enter. We have all the values here. Now I write the total here to check whether we did it correctly or not. And here we selected this cell and auto sum, and it shows that yes, we are doing the calculation properly. So next, here also we have same format, but these are given. Okay, this 100, 200,000, 300, 400,000 for instance are given. Now we want to just find these values. Then I write here equal frequency, and then we select this column, premium, the values in this column, F4, and then beans array starting from 400 or 100,000 to 400,000. And this is the total. We can click on auto sum and get the same output. But related to this 1911 with Countif or Countifs, let me write again here the formula. So the formula is going to be something like this, equal Countif. So the range, the same, premium, F4. Now I want to write the condition. If I want to find an exact value, then I can write, for example, count 100,000. If I write just 100,000, if I select this one, if there is any 100,000, we are going to count that one. We have only 100,000. But we don't want just 100,000. We want to find whatever less than or equal to, from 0 to 100,000. So I need to write here less than or equal to, but you need to put that one inside a quotation mark, less than or equal to, and then we close the quotation mark. And in between, because this is an address, we need this ampersand.